Webmania.
Hello viewers, welcome to Webmania Bootstrap 3 11th tutorial. In this tutorial, we will learn Bootstrap Typography. The question raised in our mind is, what is Bootstrap Typography? Bootstrap Typography is used to make it easy to create headings, paragraphs, order list, unordered list, etc. Let's start with headings. HTML provides us 6 basic headings ranging from H1 to H6. In HTML, the headings look like this without Bootstrap. If we don't use in Bootstrap, our HTML headings look like this. Let's go to our editor to do some practical work. It's our editor, and notice within a container I have a row class, and inside the row class I have 6 headings elements ranging from H1 to H6, and inside these elements I'm going to print heading 1, heading 2 up to so on, heading 6, and in this I comment the Bootstrap reference style sheet, which means that our project is not connected with Bootstrap now. So let's save this and go back to our browser to see how these headings now look like. It's a browser and it's now looking blank, and when I reload the page you can see our HTML headings look like this without using Bootstrap. Now let's go back to our editor and uncomment the Bootstrap reference sheet, and then look how our heading now look like. So it's our editor, and simple, we have to uncomment our Bootstrap reference style sheet. So I uncomment this. Now our project is connected with Bootstrap. So let's save this. Now let's go back to our browser to see how these 6 headings look like. So it's our browser, and when we reload the page you can see these headings look like this by using Bootstrap. Now they're looking pretty. Now if we want to match the font styling of heading but want our text to be displayed inline, let's understand what we mean by this with an example. Suppose if we want to achieve such a layout in which it's our heading and the text is displayed in line with the heading. So let's go back to our editor and do some practical work again. So it's our editor, and notice within container we have a row, and inside the row we have some dummy text, and on dummy text we apply a class of span. Here you can see we use a span element, and inside span element we use a class of h3 to Webmania, and it's a dummy text. So let's save this and see how it look like in our browser. So it's a browser, and when we reload the page you can see it's our heading and it's the text which display inline next to our heading. For achieving this layout we simple have to use the span. Here you see we only use span element, and inside span element we use a class of h3, and when I use a class of heading 1 and save this, let's go back to our browser and see how it look like. The browser, and when I reload the page you can see the size of Webmania is to be increased here because we use now its h1. So let's go back to our editor. So now if we remove the span element, let's see how it look like. I simple give him h1 and save this. Let's go back to our browser and see how look like it's now. It's a browser, and when I reload the page you can see the difference. Here it's our heading and it's our text. The text is below the heading. That's why I'm using span element here. Now if we want to display all the 6 HTML headings in a single row like this, we want all the headings h1 ranges from h1 to h6, we want all these to display in single line. So let's go to our editor. So our editor, to display these in line I use span element, and inside span element I use the class of h1, and ranges from H1 to H6. I use 6 pen elements and 6 H classes, heading classes. So let's save this and go back to browser and see how these look like now. Here is a browser, and when we reload the page, you can see all the headings are now in line. And here is the code for that. In next video tutorial, we will learn about the Bootstrap paragraphs. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned. Have a good day.